So definitely classes will be started from Monday from the core.
Okay.
And, the website is edupoly.in. So in this website, you will find out most of the course curriculum. And if you click on the practice, you'll find out my GitHub profile also. Okay. So here, every JavaScript mini projects, machine test questions, and that means interview questions, conceptual coding examples, assignment questions, everything already given in this, and it is already available in the GitHub format. Okay, solid examples, JavaScript input, output, assignment, documentation, everything is available. Other than that, we have one more website called edupoly.versal.app. Edupoly.versal.app. In that also, you will be having the complete notes, assignments, and examples. Everything already given and available. Okay.
Okay.
So these all assignments are available, and this is just for you to practice it. Everything, for everything from 0 level to you can have the level of examples I have given up to advanced questions also. Okay. Everything is already provided over here. JavaScript real-time scenario examples and projects are also provided here. So just make sure you have done that. Okay. Thank you for that question. And definitely this is available, and even every day almost this assignment list is getting updated. Maybe not every topic assignment, but some of the other assignments are getting added on the daily basis. Okay.
Yes, I'm completely new to this programming languages.
Okay. How did you come here?
Venkat and Lokesh is referred here.
Okay. Thanks to Venkat and Lokesh. Venkat, they are just supporting me from so many months or the years actually. Okay, fine. You will definitely enjoy. This is enjoy. I don't know enjoy or not, but every detail will be given and in-depth understanding will be shown. Okay.
Yeah, I have worked as a middleware integration developer
Oh.
in TIPCO and MuleSoft. So
Oh.
that
Okay. Okay.
those technologies are getting rolled out because of Spring
Good.
Boot.
Good. You're
So I would like to get new opportunities by learning this. So practice is much required here.
okay.
So I'm asking.
Sure, sure, sure. This will help you in many other ways. When you have integration techniques completely, MERN will node microservice architecture will help you to boost your resume. Fine. Nice.
I am not thinking about job. First, I'm thinking about learning only.
Okay, Nagaraj. Don't worry. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you.
Whatever the doubt you have, please let me know. Because yes, you will be having a lot of other questions. Like, for example, how authentication may happen, how the tokens will be exchanged. Okay. So there are different questions because you are already having experience on real time, right? At
Yes.
least domain knowledge is there, technical knowledge is there. So definitely I will help you to solve those all problems where you can relate your current job with this. Are you working on retail domain?
No, I'm working on right now
Banking?
utilities domain,
Okay.
power sector,
Power sector. Okay, okay. Because one of my close
nuclear
friend
power.
works in TIPCO. So
Okay.
he is also looking for job shift. Your TIPCO could not reach to the
Accommodate more people right now.
because he is my close friend. So I am hearing it from 2005. TIPCO every day 2005, 6 somewhere. So nice, good to hear. Someone from middleware integration is also here in the class. Nice. Okay. So chalo, పాపం వీళ్ళు ఎన్ని చూస్తున్నారంటే పాపం వాళ్ళకి ఎట్లా ఒక దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే అడవిలో ఇరుక్కుపోయినట్టు అయిపోయింది అనమాట. టిప్కో వాజ్ సూపర్ when it was in
Once upon a time.
once upon a time. Even 2017 వరకు కూడా బాగానే ఉంది. But after that, they are struggling. I mean, right now they are struggling. Okay. Okay. Yeah, chalo, shoot. So, this class is intended for how to use Firebase for your application authentication mostly. And I'm not using any other services of the Firebase. I'm trying to show you the how authentication will be provided with Firebase. So first of all, many of the people may not aware of what is Firebase. So first of all, I will go with that Firebase. Okay, it is a Google product. Don't worry about this introducing Firebase Studio. First of all, leave that. Make your app the best it can be Firebase and generative AI. AI. These guys are unnecessarily making it nonsense. Firebase. Chapter. Don't go with Firebase Studio. Let us go to, it is better to go to the Wikipedia, because everyone is promoting AI. So you may not understand what the hell is that. So Firebase was a company that developed backend software. So Firebase is still for backend software. So whatever the backend needs are there for any web application, that entire backend work can be done with the Firebase in a different perspective. It's not a regular perspective, it's a different perspective. Okay. So what kind of works we need in the backend? One is storing the data. Another one is having the authentication. And you need some storage space. These all three services provided by the Firebase. So you can see what kind of services are provided by the Firebase. So if you have Firebase, you need not to write much code to implement the authentication and authorization. Okay, it will take care of the complete authentication part and authorization part, and it will give you a lot of tools, so many tools to build the application with all those services. So until and unless you really go into that, you may not understand it. Okay. So before that, I would like to first create first show you the architecture once again in much more simpler way. This is our browser, and this is our database management system. So in your browser, you need the data of this database should be presented in a better way. So eventually, whatever the web applications are doing, they're all showing the database data in a better way. If you go to Flipkart, you look Flipkart like mobile phones and watches or shirts and pants. I look Flipkart like it is actually gathering the data and displaying the data. That is my vision, my approach of the Flipkart. You see Book My Show as a Genelia and Superman, or who is this? Jurassic World. So you look at the Book My Show as a collection of movies, but I look at the Book My Show as collection of data. But the data is all about movies and shows and what you say, activities or workshops or events. There is no difference between Flipkart and Book My Show. Both are same. Both are actually maintaining the data. But Book My Show is maintaining the data about the movies, theaters, tickets, and their status. Which ticket of which movie, of which theater, of which screen, on which day is filled and which is not filled. This is how Book My Show will take care. And here, which product is available at which price and with which discount and which seller, all these things are available in the Flipkart. So how do you see the Make My Trip? Yeah, can I ask you this question? How do you look at the Make My Trip?
Ticket booking website.
Okay. I look at the Make My Trip as a collection of different what you say, flights. That means it's a data of about flights, hotels, villas, packages, trains, buses, cabs, these kind of data. This is all. This is not maintaining any data about movie tickets. This is not maintaining any products. It is maintaining about again the data, but with a different perspective. Nothing else. So eventually browser needs to display that this data will be stored in database only, right? So this data supposed to be stored in, supposed to be displayed in the browser in a special way. But browser can't directly interact with the database. Why? Okay, because there are so many security reasons and you have to write a lot of queries within the browser. So here there will be something called backend server. In the old days, backend server only used to give the complete web application. So browser used to send the server a request. Server receives the request and prepares a home page, and it will send that data to the browser. I mean, the page to the browser. So that page is all about so much of information. This information is again collected by the database, and that database is prepared in the form of UI, and that UI is sent to the browser. That means the web page is sent to the browser. But when more number of browsers are connected, and every browser is connecting to the backend server for the front page, for the home page, lot of load is happening on the backend server. Load ఎక్కువ పడిపోతుంది backend server. So what we can do now? So here we have changed, not we, people have changed the perspective of application design. Now backend server is not actually taking care of sending the home page. అంటే home page ని ఇవ్వడానికి backend server ఒక్కటే లేదు. ఇప్పుడు కొత్తగా front end server, newly we got front end server. separate server for front end and separate server for back end. And that means, first of all, the front end server will have HTML, CSS, JavaScript. The code for UI, whatever the UI code is there to display a page like a Flipkart, like a Book My Show, like Make My Trip, these kind of pages are now coming from the front end server. So first, browser will send the request to the front end server. Front end server will send only HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So we will have something like you're going to have something like this. You will be getting only the boxes. You don't get the data because the data, original data is available in database. So you will get only the boxes. That means only the HTML, CSS, JavaScript code will be loaded on the browser. From the JavaScript code, again the request, now the request goes to the server. From the JavaScript, the request goes to the server for data. So now the backend server is only responsible to query the database, get the data from the database, and that data should be given back to JavaScript. And these are all called as APIs. In fact, Nagaraj Garu was doing this particular work. Okay, other than that, there are so many works they must have done, but this API is one of their major work for big databases. So this API we have to create in the backend side by using NodeJS. That is what we do. This is NodeJS, ExpressJS we can do. So yes, once the data comes in the JavaScript, the data will be given into these boxes, and finally you can see this kind of pages. So this is overall application. But here the most important thing is there will be some data which can be publicly shown. There will be some data which should be privately shown. Suppose if I really want to log in, this login screen doesn't give me any external login option. Yes, of course, it is not providing me any external login option. But there are certain websites which will provide us logging externally. That means, for example, Supabase. Leave about what the hell is this. Leave about that. When I try to sign in, yeah, you can see sign in with GitHub. So it will automatically take the credentials from the GitHub, or else, okay, again log out. Continue with the SSO. Okay, leave that. Or else you can create an account. This is one website. Leave it. Okay. Vercel, these are all logging in from Google, GitHub only. What is the best website for that? Rapid API. Now you can see, you can sign up with Google or else sign up with GitHub. So you need not to create the complete user name, all the registration You can directly sign up with Google or sign up with GitHub. So only signed users can take some data. Of course, public data is public data. Other than that, some private data will be there that will be only for available only for authenticated users. So for authenticated users, these servers will write some extra code. So that extra code is written in Node.js, can be written in Node.js, no problem at all. In the Node.js, if you write, you have to maintain sessions, you have to maintain tokens with the JWT, and you have to maintain cookies, users. Lot of information should be maintained and it should be keep on running. ఇవన్నీ మెయింటైన్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది నువ్వు కనుక బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ సర్వర్లోనే రాసుకుంటే. ఎస్, ఎనీవేస్ వి విల్ సీ దట్. బట్ ద ఆల్టర్నేట్ ఈస్ let us not use this concept or let us not implement this entire authentication process in backend. We have a new mechanism called Firebase. Actually, what does the Firebase do is, before sending the request, first of all, if you directly try to send the request to the API, it will not allow. It will expect a token in the request. It will expect a token in the request. Along with the request, you have to send that token also. So if there is no token, you will not be, I mean, even if you have sent it, it will not give you any response. So first of all, this UI will send a request to Firebase. So it will send the token to the UI application. So this JavaScript will store that token in the local storage or in cookies or somewhere. And then those tokens, that request will be forwarded. Then JavaScript will send a request with token. Now this API, of course, we will have a small thing now, not in the big scale. A very small and thin code will be available. So this code will check the token. If the token is valid, then it will send the data. When? Only if the token is valid. But how this API or this backend will actually understand the token is valid or not? So for that, backend will cross-check with the Firebase. It will send the token to the Firebase and Firebase will send yes or no. Firebase says yes, of course it is not yes. నాకు తెలుసు ఈ టోకెన్ కరెక్టే అని చెప్పదు. It will send some proper message to the API. So this backend will receive either yes or no. If it is yes, then backend server will take the data from the database and it will send. If it is no, then backend server will say no. So and this no will be going to JavaScript and again it opens the login page. So this is the fundamental approach of web applications with Firebase, web applications with external authentication. And not only web applications, even mobile applications will use the same. Mobile applications also using the Firebase for this kind of authentications. Instead of browser, this application is on the mobile phone. That's it. Anyways, so this is what happens with the real-time Firebase. So now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I have to install my application. So here I will go to the, what is that? I'll go to the terminal. In the terminal, I need to, first of all, see, all the steps have to be carefully observed. So first of all, we need to create the front-end server. In that front-end server, we need a React application. So how do we create the React application here? So I will open the terminal. In the terminal, I will install the React application through Vite latest. I mean to say Vite. So this is the latest command line tool or build tool to create React applications. Manam React applications create cheyalante, you need to create through Vite, not through the old create React application. Recently, that is expired. You can't use it. So npm create Vite latest, and then it will ask you write a project name. The project name is React. Okay. I will write Firebase React demo. And I am creating for React, and then I will be using JavaScript for it. So it created a folder in my computer. Firebase React demo. In that Firebase React demo, there are few files already created, but it did not create the backend files, not backend files. It did not create the header files, or else you can say node modules, which are needed to run the server. So it just created the code. It not installed the other software, which are needed to create the backend server. Front-end server. So for that, instructions have been given. Go to cd Firebase React demo, and then npm install. మీకు క్లాసెస్ చెప్పినప్పుడు 0 నుంచే చెప్తాను. JavaScript will be started with 0. So there you can join. So here npm install, and then you have to start the application. To start the application, I need to use npm run dev. So the application is already running. If you really want to see the application current UI, you can see this. So this is the default application what we get from React. So this is the React application. Okay, let us not change anything, because first of all, we need the React application. So we have created the React application. So the step number 1 is almost ready. It is not completely over, because now this is able to launch in the browser, but you need some Firebase tools. So let us install the Firebase tools for providing authentication through Firebase. So for that, let us go to the Firebase website. In that, you directly can click on the go to console. Okay. I have clicked on go to console. But be careful. You will have 2-3 steps, of course. I want to change the location for my, I mean to say, my Praveen, another email ID with another email ID, I have a paid version. So there the syntaxes and all are different. This is free account. So here, maybe you must be using this free account. Here you have to first create a Firebase project. Name the Firebase project as RB53 demo and continue. Don't enable this. Don't enable this. So it is creating the project. Let the project create it. So Firebase server is establishing the complete setup. ఇక్కడ కంప్లీట్ గా సెటప్ చేసుకుంటుంది Firebase మన కోసం ఒక అప్లికేషన్ తయారు చేసి పెడుతుంది. Okay, Firebase project is ready. Project is only ready. In that project, whatever the service you need to use, for that again you have to do some things. So the project is ready here. So as soon as you open to this project, you click on web. So register the app. You just name some app. Something like Edupoly RB49 app. Sorry, RB53. So here somebody, Satish Garu. So now try to see this. Once you register the app, add Firebase SDK. So those people who are trying to implement the authentication in their applications, ఎవరైతే ReactJS ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చి వాళ్ళు ఈ అథెంటికేషన్ సెటప్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు, వాళ్ళకి వీడియో బాగా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. కంప్లీట్గా న్యూగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఇది ఎందుకు ఉపయోగపడుతుంది అంటే ఎందుకు ఉపయోగపడుతుంది నాకు తెలుసు ఆ విషయం, కానీ లోపల ఎలా ఉంటుందని చూపించడానికి నేను ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఎవరైతే ఆల్రెడీ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళకి బాగా యూజ్ అవుతుంది. అసలు ముందు ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది, ఏం జరుగుతుందని మీకు తెలియాలని అంతే. సో అవర్ వర్క్ విల్ బి స్టార్టెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ జీరో. సో హియర్ మై డీటెయిల్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. So here it is saying that just if you are already using an application, then use npm install Firebase. So here I had to install the Firebase in my React application. So npm install Firebase and enter, so that it will install all the necessary libraries to connect with the Firebase into our React application. React application ఇప్పుడు ఏదైతే క్రియేట్ అయిందో అది మినిమం థింగ్ అనమాట. అంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు ఒక పెద్ద హోటల్ ఒక రెస్టారెంట్ పెట్టాలనుకున్నాం అనుకో, మనం ఏం లేదు, జస్ట్ వాటర్, బాత్రూమ్లు, తర్వాత కిచెన్, పెయింట్ వేసుకున్నాం అంతే. దాంట్లో ఒక గ్యాస్ స్టవ్ పెట్టి స్టవ్ వెలిగించి పాలు పొంగిచ్చి ఎట్లా ఉంచినాం అంతే. దాంట్లో ఇంకేం లేవు, చైర్లు, కుర్చీలు, తపేళాలు ఏమీ లేవు. వాట్ నథింగ్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద హోటల్. అట్లా బేర్ షెల్ లాగా ఉందన్నమాట మన అప్లికేషన్. సో నౌ ఐ హ్యావ్ టు ఇన్స్టాల్ చైర్స్, కిచెన్ సెటప్ అండ్ వాట్ యు సే ఎగ్జాస్ట్ ఫ్యాన్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్. లేదు నేను అక్కడనే చేసుకుంటా అంటే నీ ఇష్టం. ఫర్ పెద్ద బాణ, ఫర్ బోండాలు, ఫర్ వాట్ యు సే ఫర్ పెద్ద పెనం, ఫర్ దోశలు, ఫర్ రౌండ్ థింగ్స్, ఫర్ what is that? Idlilu, అవే ఉంటాయి కదా ప్లేట్లు. These are all needed, right? So they are all supposed to be installed. ఇప్పుడు మన application లో కూడా Firebase అనేది ఏంటి, సంథింగ్ లైక్ what do you say, phone pay machine. So if somebody pays it, they will pay it here, sound వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు అవన్నీ కావాలి కదా, ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి కావాల్సిందే కదా. So here మనకి React application create అయింది, but we have only bare shell. Now I have installed the Firebase. That means I got the, what do you say, swiping machine, I got the scanner, I got the table. Now I can take the money from the user. Okay, like that I have installed the Firebase. Okay, so once you have installed the Firebase, you have to use this particular code in your project. So copy this project, and I will be opening the front-end application. What is the front-end application? React, Firebase React demo here. So in the index, in the src folder, especially in the main.jsx, I have to put these configuration. So you may need this Firebase initialization in another place. So for that I have installed. So మొత్తం అంతా రెడీ ఉందండి. ఇది where I have to copy and paste this particular configuration in the main.jsx file, because this is the file which will be executed from the beginning. Application launch avvadagane, as soon as the application launches, this file will be executed. So my application is okay, and let us go to continue to the console. So now by default Firebase is going to give you these services. Authentication service, Cloud Firestore for storing the data, storage for images, videos. They will not be stored in the database, they will be stored in the folders, they will be created in the storage. And hosting, now we are running our application in my local computer, but in the future I have to load the application in the Firebase host. So these are the applications I have. These are the 4 different services Firebase is providing. So now I want to use only authentication. So if you really want to ask, if you want to see, please watch these videos. Otherwise, go and click on get started. So in the get started, you will have the sign in methods. So select the Google sign in method and enable this. So in the future, if you have any email support for the project, you select this email support and yeah, click on the save. Now Google authentication is enabled. It's over. Inka manaki ఏ పని లేదు. Now in my React application, when I click on a button, just like this, ఇందాక ఏం ఓపెన్ చేసినా ర్యాపిడ్ అప్లికేషన్. When I click on a button, it should show something like this. Okay, this is 2 things. But when I click on sign up with Google, it should ask me this kind of UI. So that is what I am going to set up now. Adi nenu ippudu set up cheyalanu. So how can I set up it? First of all, I'll create a button and then I will talk. So here I will remove everything from my application. Any extra things. So now my application must be stop. Stop chesam. Now my application is having hello everyone. So here in the same application, I would like to create a button. So when I click on this button, it should display that Google authentication kind of thing. Login or sign up with Google. This is what I just showed. Right? Okay. So when I click on it, it should able to sign up, right? So for that, you have to do some work, because directly I am unable to find out the documentation here. ఇక్కడి నుంచే మనకి ఏదైనా లింక్ ఉందా అంటే నాకు ఎక్కడ ఆ లింక్ కనపడలేదు. Somehow I am unable to find out the link to the documentation for this particular work. నాకు ఎక్కడ ఆ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ కనపడలేదు. సో లెర్న్ మోర్ అన్నప్పుడు కూడా పెద్దగా నాకేం కనపడలేదు డాక్యుమెంటేషన్. చూద్దాం, ఒక్క నిమిషం చూసి ఇక్కడ ఉందేమో. ఇక్కడేమో మల్టీ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అథెంటికేషన్కి డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఇచ్చాడు. So here also, if you click on it, yes, it is redirecting the documentation, but here you have to select the web. In that web, you have sign in with Google. Google. Okay. So here you have to sign in with authenticate using Google JavaScript. So ఇది యాక్చువల్గా బాగానే దొరికినట్టు చెప్పాలంటే. It gave you somewhat better answer. If you are unable to find it, just go to the Google and type like this: Firebase Google authentication documentation. సో ఎంతమంది అట్లా అడుగుతుంటే అదంత పైకి వస్తుందో ఆలోచించు. అదే దొరకట్లేదు సరిగ్గా, డైరెక్ట్గా సెర్చ్ నోట్ సరిగ్గా ఇలే. Okay, here also you have to go to the web and then you have to click on the sign in with Google authentication. So this is how you have to start with Google authentication. And then you have to start working with this. For already whatever we have to do it on the add Firebase to your project, enable Google sign-in method in the Firebase console. In the Firebase console, open the auth section on the sign-in method tab, enable Google sign-in method, and then click save. Already manam chesesam. Already we have done that. Now handle the sign-in flow with the Firebase SDK. What is SDK? Software Development Kit Toolkit. It is already installed in your computer. I mean, in your application. ReactJS లో మన అప్లికేషన్లో ఆల్రెడీ మనము Firebase SDKని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసేసాం. npm install Firebase is itself called Firebase installation. So this installation will help you to create the Google provider. So we have to import Google Auth provider from the Firebase auth. So I just copied that code and I pasted here. So here I am importing Google Auth provider. And of course, this line is supposed to be written inside the app, not outside. So the second step is optional. Providing the ad scope is not necessary. And even this localization is also not necessary. And that means the code, which particular country code you are using, this is also not necessary. It's optional. Don't use it. And custom parameters, you need not to set any custom parameters. Don't go with this. So in our training, mostly which is optional, which is mandatory, knowing that itself a big challenge. So first, a particular point రావడానికి మనకి చాలా కష్టమైంది. Now the fifth step is very important. That is authenticate. So here, this is the authentication code necessary for it. I just copy the authentication code and I will paste it. Import section is needed. So already Google Auth is provided here. So I am removing it. And then whatever the code we have here, please put the code inside the app. Whatever there in the catch, need not to worry about it. Oh, it is directly opening that means our project is successful. Okay. But let me write this entire code. First of all, remove this entire code with, if we get any error, print it. So this particular function will be automatically executed along with the loading. So here I will be creating a function login. Inside the login, I will keep the actual logic to connect with the Firebase, and I will connect it on click is equal to login. So now all the setup is over, and simple save it and go to your application. When we click on login or sign up with Google, yes, it is opening the account. And here I would like to log in with Gubbala Praveen. When we log in with Gubbala Praveen, it is asking me all the confirmations. And when I say continue, you have completed the login. You did the login. So here you have a very big token and also your user information. Can you see this? User, provider data, in the 0, you have lot of information. So cherry on the cake, I want to complete that entire work. So here, what will I do is I will create a state variable. So const user details, comma, set user details. So once the login is over, I want to set user details with, in the user, I have provider data. In the user, I have provider data. In the provider data, you have the details in the 0th index object. So that data I would like to put it in the user details. So I would like to display this login button only before login. That means when we don't have the user details, that means when the user details is null, user details is null, of course, sorry. If user details is null, okay, I would like to put, sir, these are all very tricky logics. Use this. When the user details are there, then I would like to display the image, or else I will say a H1 with mission completed. So now by default, it is saying that login and sign up, login or sign up with Google, because we don't have any user details. Oh, is it so? Yes. Just now we logged in, but I have not saved it in. So now when I click on the login and Gubbala Praveen, I have selected that. Just now I have logged in. So, hey, now the login button is no more visible over there. So here in the user details provided data, everything is going perfect. And I want to display the image as well. When the user details are available. That means when it is already logged in. So img src is equal to user details dot the property name is photo URL. So now, yes, if I refresh the page, login, Praveen Gubbala, why the image is వస్తుంది. Maybe it is taking time to load that user details dot photo URL. Have photo URL. What's the problem? Okay. So here, let me write down another thing. User details dot, I have the display name. So at least display name supposed to be user details image src is equal to user details dot photo URL. వస్తుందమ్మా అసలు రిక్వెస్ట్ వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు So let me go for manimits.info@gmail.com. Continue. So here, so this photo URL is not able to load. No problem. This is not a big deal. Yeah. Yeah. Let me cross check. It will come because I have deployed the application. I have run that application by my own. It is supposed to come, but yes, you are able to see mission accomplished. Hi Manimits Software Development and Training Center is one of my old company. Now, if I log in with Gubbala Praveen, it says hi Praveen Gubbala will be able to show. So that means I am able to authenticate the user through Google sign, and we are going to have the token. So in the real-time applications, what do we do is to get the data, we have to use the token, whatever we have received. We have to send this token to the backend applications in every request. So every request, this token has to receive at the backend, and this backend will check whether the token is correct or not from the Firebase. If the token is correct, only then it will forward the response to the front end. So this is how the complete application development will happen along with the authentication. Yes, if you have any doubts, for example, Nagaraju, right now it is very early to ask me, but meeku edan doubts unte adagandi. If you have any doubts, let me know. We are starting from Monday.
सर ये सेटअप पूरा वन टाइम सेटअप है ना अभी इंस्टॉल जो किए
हाँ एकदम only one time. You need not to worry about it.
ओके
Okay. So hope you liked it, and please refer your friends so that we will have a very big batch. Okay. So from Monday, we are going to start the JavaScript. Of course, little HTML, CSS is also covered in that. We'll start from the Monday. See you on Monday. Bye.